Welcome to this week's edition of the Butler Beat. I'm Kaylee Ricks.
And I'm Evie Schultz. Junior Caitlin Susley is the new Student Government Association president for the 2015-2016 school year. Susley was the only candidate who ran for president. The results were announced last night by the SGA board. Butler has not had a female SGA president in 7 years.
Since we've had a female president here at Butler, but I think if anything, it makes me excited to be able to represent the student body, and that's really what I'm looking for, is to be able to represent our university in the best way. So nervous, I don't think is the right word. I'm very excited. Again, I've been able to learn so much about myself, and I'm just really grateful for the opportunity.
Susley will be sworn in toward the end of this semester.
Peers Advocating Wellness for Students, otherwise known as PAWS, is co-sponsoring National Eating Disorders Awareness Week through Friday. Emma Edick has more information.
To start the conversation about body image, students stepped on yay scales Monday afternoon at the PAWS Rejuvenation Station. But it wasn't a typical scale. Instead of a number, it showed positive adjectives like awesome and stunning. Sophomore Cameron Alford says the compliment made his day.
It brought, a really great feeling. Honestly, it said I was handsome, so hey, that's cool. That's great. But yeah, it was definitely cool. It was definitely encouraging and positive thing to really see. So I appreciate that. Yeah.
PAWS teamed up with Counseling and Consultation Services and the Department of Recreation to schedule events throughout the week. This year's theme is I Had No Idea. The goal of the week is to bring attention to the seriousness of eating disorders and spread awareness about their causes, triggers, and treatments. On Monday night, a panel of 3 women shared their personal experiences with eating disorders. Senior Brooke Buckner says it impacted her life tremendously.
And just as Danielle said, I lost the passion. I lost, beyond the color of my face, I lost just the zeal for anything. I didn't want to be around friends. I didn't want to talk to family from home. I wanted to isolate myself, and just because it was easier.
Buckner's mother, Tammy, shared how difficult it was to watch Brooke battle her eating disorder. She says it's not about fitting into skinny jeans.
It's about what you see in the mirror, which is in here, and there's no way to fix that unless you get the help you need.
Former PAWS President Danielle McCormick says eating disorders should be talked about on college campuses.
I actually recovered from an eating disorder myself, and I think it's really important for college students to be aware of the triggers, to be mindful of what might be going on in other people's lives so that they can be an advocate and help others.
For the Butler Beat, I'm Emma Edick.
The construction of a new dorm on campus starts next month. Morgan Legal tells us how the construction will affect parking and what to expect from this new dorm once it is completed.
Students and faculty can expect to see some parking changes coming up in March. On the 9th, construction begins on the housing facility that will be constructed right here on the Irwin Library lot. Both the commuters and faculty parking in the Irwin lot, along with the residents of the Resco lot, will be inconvenienced once construction begins. They are asked to park in Hinkle or corresponding sections. The B permit, handicap, and first spots in between Irwin and Resco will still be open. Executive Director, Facilities Management at Butler, Richard Michael, says the layout of each section is a little different than the campus is used to.
We're all going to be double occupancy rooms, but within a larger, we're referring to them as pods. So the standard unit's going to have 6 to 8 beds, so that'll be 3 to 4 rooms and 3 to 4 bathrooms.
Dean of Student Life, Ann Flaherty, says that the new dorm will house all genders.
Like all of our housing right now is same gender. However, we do have what's called gender inclusive housing. So if a group of 6 to 8 come forward and apply to live together, they can do that in the new residence hall.
The layout of the new building will be in the shape of 2 U's connected by a 4-floor bridge of multi-purpose rooms such as study and common areas. Michael says that he hopes this new housing facility will help Butler remain competitive for incoming students.
But, what we believe is a lot of folks are coming to Butler despite our housing, not because of our housing. And in order for us to remain competitive, I think we need to turn that around.
For the Butler Beat, I'm Morgan Legal.
Change is coming to Butler University in the form of a new brand. Haley Ross has the story.
We have spent about the last year working on this brand development process. Butler is revamping what can only be referred to as the Butler Brand. Vice President of Marketing and Communications, Matt Mindrum, became a Bulldog 18 months ago with the task to try and effectively tell Butler's story. The first 6 months were about listening to what people thought about Butler and what they loved about it. There were meetings hosted at Town Hall, prospective student focus groups, and surveys conducted with current students. What they found out has completely shaped the direction they are taking.
So much of what we learned from that listening process was that outcomes and experiences matter, and that those are also things that Butler is really good at. So those are things that we ought to be working to highlight. Those are stories we ought to be working to tell.
The right outcomes, the right way. That's what the marketing team is calling the new Butler Promise. This focuses on what people think matter most, such as Butler's high job placement and graduation rates. Billboards are going up around central Indiana, and the website is being redone to promote these statistics. When current students were asked what they thought about the Butler Promise, they had positive things to say.
It kind of just makes me feel very strong about my school. Like, I think it makes me feel more confident that I chose the right place to be.
The right outcome, right way makes me think about why I came to Butler in the first place, to do things the Butler way.
Things like the logo were also redone. The bookstore is the first to feature the new Bulldog, but as construction continues, the logo will be added. There are new efforts directed specifically towards prospective students as well. Admitted students received a video of Tripp dropping off an acceptance letter, and a lucky few had him deliver it himself. The goal of the new brand is for current Butler students and alumni to feel pride in their school. As far as prospective students go, Mindrum wants this.
To convince them that Butler deserves their attention.
For the Butler Beat, I'm Haley Ross.
For a pair of business majors, an in-class idea has turned into a real-life reality. These students have created an app that lets people donate to a variety of organizations.
While most students use their bedrooms as a place to sleep or watch TV, 2 Butler students have used theirs as an office for their startup company. Seniors Andres Pena and Matt Spear created Ripple, a mobile app that allows users to donate to a multitude of nonprofit organizations from their phone, from right here on campus. Spear says he's proud of what the duo has accomplished, despite their young age.
I don't really think about it in terms of like my age. I think it's just a really cool opportunity to be able to do something in entrepreneurship, but at the same time be able to impact the world and help others. I think it's the perfect combination.
The idea for Ripple came to Pena during one of his junior business classes, and he immediately reached out to Spear, bringing his friend and classmate on board. Professor Deborah Skinner helped the 2 students during the early phases and says that the pair was driven from the beginning.
They were great about asking for help and also about then taking it and putting it back into the idea for the app and tweaking it and changing it to make it something that would be viable.
The app officially launched in early February after Spear and Pena connected with a Google ambassador and tech developer. The co-founders say that the app has been downloaded over 100 times in the Apple App Store and has already generated over $1,000 for nonprofits. Pena says that the experience has provided a great lesson in running your own company.
It's really opened my eyes to what it is to be an entrepreneur, and really has kind of a newfound respect for small business owners and kind of see where all these tech greats have gone and how kind of they had the same start we did.
Spear says that he's excited to watch the app take the next step in the near future.
Honestly, the sky's the limit. I think we always run by the saying that we're just going to keep doing this until someone tells us to stop. So really it is limitless.
While they may be meeting in bedrooms like this on campus for now, the duo is going to undergo a pretty big change starting next year. They've both locked down full-time jobs here in Indianapolis. However, Spear and Pena both say that if all goes well, their dream is to run Ripple full-time. For the Butler Beat, I'm Mike Murtaugh.
Butler University's Dance Marathon is changing lives and making history. BUDM set a goal to raise $250,000 for Riley Children's Hospital in Indianapolis. I attended BUDM to find out if they achieved this goal. Dancers filled the HRC Saturday morning despite the cold and icy weather. The 12-hour event was full of dancing, games, and speeches given by Riley families.
My mom also says that Riley is the Disneyland of hospitals for kids.
After standing for 12 hours, the amount of money raised was revealed. Students were led to believe that they were $10,000 shy of their goal, but then the dancers got a very good surprise.
I think something's wrong. I think you need to change your number.
BUDM ended up raising $261,000, putting them over their goal. Co-president of BUDM, Ruthie Malenta, said this event means more than just the amount of money raised.
It doesn't matter what the total is at the end of the day. Like, the fact that we can make such a big difference for the kids at Riley, and the fact that kids that are, like, people our age, that we learn to, you know, to give back at such a young age, I think that's honestly the biggest blessing.
Junior Emma Ulrich is studying in Washington, D.C. this semester, but flew back to Indianapolis so she could attend Dance Marathon.
I love Dance Marathon so much. I'm so passionate about it. It's just great to see how much we help the kids. We get to hear their stories, and it's really inspiring to me.
BUDM is in honor of Sarah Michelle Cohen. Cohen lost her 6.5-year battle to a rare form of bone cancer when she was 18 years old. Her family was there to speak on her behalf.
Seeing SMC all across the gym, on your backs, on your t-shirts, it truly reminds us that she will never be forgotten because of the actions that you all do.
At the end of the 12 hours, students were ready to continue celebrating. Just while sitting down this time. For the Butler Beat, I'm Kaylee Ricks.
Dancing is also the theme of a new organization at Butler. The name of the group is Movement Exchange, and their mission is connecting communities around the world through dance. Members of Movement Exchange travel to countries like Mexico and India, organizing workshops to teach and learn different types of dance. Junior Julia Lloyd is the president of Butler's new chapter. She says the club is about more than dance.
I mean, it's about teaching movement, but it's also about, we're trying to incorporate other aspects to it. So it's like you have the music and how the music makes you feel, and so the power behind the message. So it's like
Butler's chapter hopes to travel to Panama in the future. For more information, visit movementexchanges.org. Cases of the measles are on the rise nationwide. The viral disease, once gone in the United States, has returned. Austin Monteith has the story on why measles has come back and what you can do to prevent it.
The measles has returned, with cases of the highly contagious viral infection being reported in 17 states nationwide, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. No confirmed cases have been reported in Indiana. The outbreak began in December and has continued through the winter, as more than 150 cases of the disease have now been confirmed.
When one person with the measles goes into a place, it is very, very highly contagious. So it's spread by respiratory droplets, and oftentimes people don't know that they're infected for several days.
Children are usually vaccinated by the age of 6. Some parents have been led to believe vaccines cause autism in children and have refused to get their kids vaccinated, allowing for the measles to reemerge. Autism advocacy group Autism Speaks released a statement making it clear that vaccines do not cause autism.
And so they've heard all this misinformation from celebrities about the risks of vaccines, and there are risks. There are risks if you take Tylenol. There are risks if you eat candy. There's risks to everything that you put into your body, but generally the benefits far outweigh the risks.
The question over whether parents should be required to vaccinate their children has arisen. Butler requires all incoming students to document they have been vaccinated against the measles. It is important for everyone to be vaccinated in order to protect the health of others, says Butler Health Services Director Julie Howerton.
I look at families right now that have children that are too young to be immunized, or children or even adults who have cancer or other diseases that make them at greater risk if they're exposed to a communicable disease. I have to say, it doesn't seem very equitable that someone gets to make a choice that harms someone else.
Butler Health Services advises students to keep a high level of hygiene and urges those who may have symptoms of illness to visit them at the HRC immediately. For the Butler Beat, I'm Austin Monteith.
With the measles outbreak and other health concerns, many people are wondering whether or not to get the vaccine. To answer this question, students at Butler University are writing a children's book about the benefits of getting vaccinated. Whitney Simmons has the details.
Students from the College of Education, Business, and Pharmacy teamed up to create Max Green and the Vaccine Team. This children's book teaches kids and their parents about getting shots and how they are not as scary as they seem.
Max Green is a little vaccine. He calls up his friends, Chipper the Sticker, Bandy Boo Boo, and Sandy the Sugar Candy to help the kids feel more comfortable going into doctor's offices and getting their vaccines. But then something ends up happening, and he doubts himself, and his team kind of starts to fall apart, and they kind of bring him back together for the sake of the kids.
Professor Stephanie Fernhalber, one of the advisors for the project, feels that this topic could not have come at a better time.
Well, if we look as to what the discussion is going on in the media right now, it's on vaccines and whether or not kids should be vaccinated. It's highly controversial, so I would say that the timing of this book could not be better.
Right now, the book is in pre-sale stages and should be published by the beginning of March. The students are looking at donating some of the money from the proceeds to help give vaccines to developing countries.
We had talked about donating money to a polio vaccine. So I can't remember exactly how much it was, but every so $100 was so many vaccines to a kid.
Once the book is published, the team hopes to sell the book at the Butler bookstore. For the Butler Beat, I'm Whitney Simmons.
Lambda Chi Alpha and Kappa Alpha Theta are this year's winners of freshman skits. Kyle Beery filed this report.
The new classes of each Greek house brought the magical world of Disney to Butler's campus Friday night. From Pirates of the Caribbean to Disney princesses and TV shows, each class gave their interpretation of the theme. There was a common appearance in a lot of the skits, though. Many houses had their own version of Butler's mascot, Blue 3, or Trip. Lambda Chi Alpha took home first place for fraternities, and Kappa Alpha Theta won the crown for the sororities. Members from each winning house say all the hard work over the last couple of weeks finally paid off.
Oh, so exciting. I was the captain, so I had a lot of people thanking me, but it was far from just me. It was everybody who helped, whether they were in the dance or whether they were brothers who helped or people who came in and helped us. It was everybody, and I'm just so happy that it happened.
Oh my God, yeah. We've been working like non-stop for 2 weeks, and it totally paid off. We were so excited, like I can't even tell you. When we heard our name, we were like freaked out.
Members from each house filled the stands, cheering on and supporting their new members. So there you have it, Lambda Chi Alpha and Kappa Alpha Theta, both winners of freshman skits. They'll have bragging rights for the rest of the year. For the Butler Beat, I'm Kyle Beery.
The Center for Faith and Vocation is offering free sunrise yoga classes as part of their Body, Mind, and Spirit Tuesdays. Kelsey Ralph has the details.
Butler students looking for a relaxing and rejuvenating way to start the day may want to consider trying sunrise yoga. The Center for Faith and Vocation, also known as the Blue House, offers free yoga classes every Tuesday morning. Instructor Josie Springer says yoga has both physical and mental benefits.
It decreases your blood pressure, it decreases your stress. It also just gives you a time on your mat just to kind of be in the moment. And for me, that's what's most important.
Springer is a certified yoga trainer hired by the CFV to teach classes as part of the center's Body, Mind, and Spirit Tuesdays. These weekly lessons are meant to help individuals renew and relax while serving as a workout at the same time. Classes are only 45 minutes long, but students appreciate the time to leave their troubles aside.
I really like the challenges that it brings because it's a mix of kind of challenging you but also relaxing you. I feel like I need that, especially being a senior. And it's a nice way to wake up on Tuesdays.
Sunrise yoga is held every Tuesday morning with room for up to 10 people on a first-come, first-served basis. Yoga mats are provided and a light breakfast is available to take on the go. For the Butler Beat, I'm Kelsey Ralph.
That's it for this week's Butler Beat. I'm Kaylee Ricks.
And I'm Evie Schultz. Have a great week and stay warm, Butler Bulldogs.